Banana bread, banana bread, banana bread, banana bread, we can banana bread, we're not pretty, but we're not dead. We're not pretty, but we're not dead. Banana bread, we can be banana bread.
Yes, the prophecy is true. Today, we will be making banana bread. What's up guys, welcome back to RYE Cooks, YouTube's favorite cooking show. Today we'll be making banana bread, the world's favorite bread, I think. Alright, so let's get Oh no. This isn't right. Alright, wait 1 second. Wait, am I ready? Alright, now we're ready. So first and foremost, we're gonna have to preheat the oven. Let's go over here, press bake, and 350 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature which you will be cooking in. Alright, so once you preheated your oven, you want to get started on your dry ingredients first. Get a large bowl, enough to fit all of these ingredients and more because we're going to add wet ingredients afterwards. Firstly, we're going to start with some flour. Just regular all-purpose baking flour. Anything works pretty much, but I prefer using all-purpose. You're going to take 1 1/3 cups of these. Next, we're going to baking powder. It's just a little bit, really tiny bit, just 1/4 teaspoon of it. Dump that in there. Next, baking soda. We're gonna get those two right. 1/2 teaspoon for this. Throw that into the mix. And then get some salt. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Dump that in there. And we've got that sugar. Sweet. 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And you're just gonna yeet that in there. These are the main dry ingredients that you would need. If you want to add some more, like I add cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Adds a little bit more flavor and tastes pretty good. So I'm just gonna add that in there. Now with all the dry ingredients in the bowl, you want to stir them together and make sure they're all combined. Alright, so now that we've finished the dry ingredients, it's time to go into the wet ingredients. For this banana bread recipe, we only need 3 to 4 fairly sized bananas, such as this one right here, in my hand, right now. It's definitely there. So we're going to take this banana, we're going to do a step back, hardened style. We're going to copy. Alright, so now that you've made that 3-pointer into the bowl, you're gonna see that now you have 4 ripe peeled bananas. And yes, in my case they're a bit overripe. And yeah, they are smelling a bit and they are giving out some weird liquids, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. Just deal with it. Alright, next is time for a lot of people's favorite part. That is to mash the bananas together. Ordinarily people would use like a fork and just smash that and smash that like that. That's boring. I'm gonna use my hands because that's more fun.
12 seconds later.
Alright, so now that's mashed up, we're going to butter, our next wet ingredient. We're gonna need 5 tablespoons of this, and a lot of recipes say it needs to be softened by steaming hot water under it with salt and doing a chemistry experiment and adding some. What I like to do is take the butter and a bowl and a microwave, open the microwave, put it inside, close it, and turn it on. While that's softening, or melting I guess, 2 eggs. A lot of people say room temperature, but it doesn't really matter. Just take them and just yeet them inside this epic bowl of banana. Once you're done with that, you're gonna go back to this microwave, open it, take the bowl out. Wow, you have some extremely softened butter. Just gonna dump that in there. Now would probably be a good time to use a fork because the butter will probably be extremely hot and will melt your fingers right off your hand. Don't try it at home, please. I'm warning you. Alright, so now I'm going to stir that all up really well. Really well. Now that you have your wet mixture all stirred up and all combined, we'll go back to the dry mixture. And time to combine all of them together. You want to make a small hole in the middle of the dry ingredients so that the wet ingredients can all mix well properly. Alright, next we're going to take the mix, dump it into the dry ingredients, and just mix it together. So at this point, all you need to do is just mix them together. Use a fork, hand, arm, leg, whatever you want. Just combine them thoroughly. What I like to use, a hand mixer. When I bake bread or cakes, I want to get as much air into it to make the batter and the bread as light and as fluffy as it can be. You want to mix it very thoroughly and fast so that all the air can get trapped inside, and while it's baking, it can expand. Or that's how I think of it. I don't even know how it works, but I don't know. Hence the reason why I love using these mixers, because they're fast and they can mix really well. Alright, so I'm going to take it and just mix it. As you can see, the mixture has now become very light compared to before, and it's looking a lot more smooth. That is the kind of texture we want before we put it inside the oven. Alright, once you got your mixture all mixed up, because that's what a mixture is supposed to be, a mix of things. That's why it's called a mixture. And you wouldn't have a mixture if they weren't mixed enough, so if they were mixed and... If you wanted to add something extra like raisins or chocolate chips, you can do that if you would like. I just don't have them right now, so... Now we're going to take our handy dandy pan, spray the inside of our baking pan for the bread, and now just dump that in there like so. Get it even so it gets surrounded well, and then when it's baking, it won't be uneven baking. Make sure to get all of that batter. We don't waste on this channel. Alright? Even that out a bit by just shaking it. Make sure it's all in there. As you can see, it is now well placed. And now we can put it in the oven. Alright, so now we're going to come over here to the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Put it right in there. Alright, so now we're going to leave it in there for a good 40 to 50 minutes. Watch that timer and it will be all good. Alright, so once your timer goes off, time to open it up. Use a toothpick to see if the bread is actually finished. If there's some batter on the toothpick after you take it out, then it's not done. You have to keep it in there for a few more minutes. But in our case, that looks pretty good to me. It's done. Alright, we're going to take it out. It's very hot, so be careful. And there we go. Alright, and there you have it. We have just made bread from bananas. It will be a great treat for you with some ice cream for a dessert-like dish, or you can eat it for breakfast when you're feeling like some banana bread will do you right. But there we go. The world's most favorite bread, banana bread.